my goals are to improve my physique, build muscle mass, improve body composition, my strength in the gym, and hit some specific numbers. My squat, I wanted to get to 100 kilos. I wanted to deadlift twice my body weight, so 150 kilos at the time. I was afraid of training too much upper body. I wanted to get better training upper body. I wanted to work through discomfort, and then I just loved being strong and lifting. Another goal was improving my relationship with food and nutrition in a way that's sustainable, balanced, healthy, and consistent. Gaining weight at the time made me really uncomfortable, but I did want to go in a surplus to overcome that. And I wanted to build my health in a way that allowed me to thrive in all areas of my life, personally, study-wise, and career-wise. I wanted to improve my overall wellness and build some good habits and get out of the bad ones that I was in at the time. I wanted to, get into journaling, meditating, reading consistently, not spend as much time on my phone, and then complaining that I didn't have time for other things. And then at the time I said in a year or two from now, I want to have reached a stage where I was comfortable just maintaining my physique, getting stronger, fitter, eating good and fresh food, and practicing the lifestyle and habits that feel right to me.
Okay. What are you thinking through when you read that back?
I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know how to feel, or I don't know what to say, because it's crazy that at the time these were my goals, because I feel like I've really achieved all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have to sugarcoat things. You can be like, we got this, we got
this. Go back, I can tell you exactly how.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, I really have, and it's crazy how my goals over the years have developed as an outcome of our relationship and our coaching together. What
do you mean by that? How have they developed?
When I came to you, I was so simple and this is what I want. This is the things I wanted, and now they've I feel like they've flourished because I've overcome and achieved all those goals, and now it's I have bigger, better visions that I want to achieve, and that's, I think, it's an outcome of the confidence I've built and the things we've accomplished together. And it's crazy because it's only been 10 months?
Yeah.
Less than a year.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you pulled this on me because I was not prepared for that reminder.
Surprise.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because there's the saying, where we are now is where we were once wishing to be.
Yep. That is nail on the head.
But what were you doing before you saw me? What were you trying? What were you struggling with?
I think I've tried literally everything. I was in a cycle of trial and error and going in and out of different cycles, and I tried so many different diets and fad diets, and I was in and out of deficits, and that didn't work, and so I gave up and gained fat, and then went back into restrictive dieting, and then I was just trying what I knew, and it was just so repetitive and not getting anywhere. I was a bit lost, and I didn't have the expertise or the knowledge that I do now, and I didn't have someone to guide me and help me just feel grounded in the process, because I think when I couldn't achieve something quick and I didn't have someone there to guide me and this is fine, it's okay, you're meant to go through this process.
Yeah.
I was just so reactive. And I really struggled because you don't have the support either. But yeah, at such a different place, completely.
What were you struggling with most? before and as you were coming to see me?
I think, like, objectively what I was struggling with, just having a well-rounded approach to my health, like a cohesive structure to allow me to thrive and then achieve my goals. I didn't have that, and I struggled to get that. I was trying so many different things, but none of them were a practical approach that was sustainable and safe for me at the time. And so, you know, I craved someone to guide me and to support me and to allow me to see things from a different perspective, and give me that knowledge and expertise to really, you know, help me thrive and achieve my goals. That's what I really struggled with. And yeah, I was like, maybe it's time for me to like really have someone to guide me through it and support me and allow me to see things.
And why was it me? Like, and what was your first impression when we first started?
First of all, I haven't told you this, but
what?
You know, I actually inquired with someone else right before you.
Naturally. I didn't know that though.
It's not very natural to me because...
That's not?
Yeah, no, because the way you played out... The way you played out is that someone actually approached me.
Oh.
Like a coach.
To offer to coach you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've never had that. Never.
Interesting.
And so when he did that, it kind of got in my head. I'm like, oh, maybe it's something that I can consider. Because before that, I was like, no way, like, I don't think I can... I was scared of committing to that process, and just the idea of it made me like, oh.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you get over that before you keep telling me that story?
How I got over it? I didn't. I was like, the only way for me to get over it is by stepping into it. So I didn't. Up to that point, up to our inquiry call, I was like...
What were you feeling?
I was like so nervous and anxious.
So common. I didn't realize how common that was until people started telling me. And then since I've put in my inquiry call, it's okay to feel nervous and anxious before here, blah blah blah. It's like, but you felt that too.
Yeah, I felt that even after I commenced coaching with you. It was like such a big, huge step for me. Like,
why do you think it was? Why do you think it's such a big step?
Because I knew the impact it was going to have on me, and I knew the level of commitment it was going to take, and having that someone who holds you accountable, who gives you no excuses, like, this is the knowledge, this is the work that you need to do. Like, it's not a magic pill, right? It's like, you're going to go to a coach, it's not like a pill you take and next day you're changed. Like, it still requires that level of commitment and responsibility from yourself. And so I think that's what scared me, because I was like, oh my God, like, that's it. Like, I know if I'm seeking that knowledge, guidance and support and accountability, I have it. Now it's all on me. I need to work. And so that's what scared me. I was like, oh my God, it's like this person's gonna watch me. And like, it's either like they're gonna watch me do the work or watch me not do the work. So it's like, yeah, I think that's what scared me, right? But yeah, like, going back to that story, it's like they reached out to me, and it was like just someone, like, they weren't huge on Instagram or anything, and they were like seeking out clients, and I was like, oh, like, it might be, it was like a nice offer, and I was like, yeah, why not? But then I started getting doubts. Not about the person, I think it's just me not aligning with the services they were providing, because at the time I was looking for something more holistic and all-rounded. And then my friend Mary, obviously, she was coaching with you at the time, and we were speaking back and forth about it, and she was like, oh, well, like, if you're going to do coaching, I'd just advise that you consider a lot of options rather than just one and then stick to it. Just like, nothing wrong with that. It's just your it's your right as a client to like know what like just to look into different options.
Sure.
And I was like, great idea. And then I was like, and then she's like, recommended you, because at the time she knew what I was looking for. And she's like, well, you can always try Alex. She spoke really highly of you. And I was like, cool. And then I came to you and I was like, I was pretty much sold. I think at the time it was just the finances for me.
Yeah.
And the other coach was obviously cheaper. And I was like, well, if I'm paying,
Okay.
I was like, if I'm paying, I might as well pay a little extra for someone, you know, that's going to offer me the services I was looking for. And that's going to, like, you know, tailor their services to me in a holistic way. And so I think, that's what led me to, like, inquire with you, and the rest is history.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
What was I know you're nervous, anxious. What was the first impression?
I think it's your energy. Like, I just love how excited and, like, energetic you were, and just, I think, like, when, like, when someone spends time with you, they just feel good because, like, you give out a lot of energy, and it's like, and I'm like a sponge. It's like I soak it in and I, like, really take it in, and I think I just love that. Like, first impression, I was like, oh my god, he has so much energy. So like I'd say kind of like a bubbly person. Like, it was really nice. And I was like, oh, he's really cool. And that was my first impression, and I was like, and then when we started working together, I was like, damn, this guy's smart. Like, you know, you knew your stuff, and, like, you were very knowledgeable, and you were, like, able to guide me really well through a lot of different challenges we went through. But yeah, that's kind of the first few impressions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's good to know. You said challenges though. What were the biggest obstacles that we encountered together, and how do we overcome?
I think the biggest challenges we encountered were just psychology. My mindset was nowhere near where it's now. I struggled a lot with my relationship with food. Just with my psyche, with just even my relationship to deficits and surpluses and gaining and losing weight. It was just very jumbled, and it was not great, to say the least. And I think heavily my relationship with food, I was just always thinking about food, really attached to the numbers on the scale, my body image, it was something we worked a lot. I think the first few months just focused on that, and it took a while for me to, like, really, like, you know, you provided me with a lot of frameworks that helped me overcome those challenges. And, you know, these frameworks are not something you can just do and, like, next day you're fine. Like, they take time to work. Like, you know, just not attaching like how I feel to the number on the scale every morning, and just look at it as data and a way of measurement rather than something that's attached to my worth. And obviously that, from a surface point of view, it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense, easy. But really, like, doing that work and, like, really utilizing those techniques, it takes time and effort. And so, like, we worked on that for a number of months, and it's like, and I was reaping the benefits. I'm like, okay, I was feeling better. I was not attaching, you know, who I am to any numbers. And then as an outcome of that, we just kept building and building, and to the point where I was, like, in a really, you know, a substantial deficit, and I was doing fine, and I was, like, losing all this weight.
That's right.
Yeah, and, like, but before that, we were in a big maintenance, actually.
Yeah, there was at least a month, 6 weeks or so, but we didn't touch that.
No.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So, like, before that, actually, even though you knew that, you know, I was not at my ideal body weight, you weren't like, okay, let's go in a deficit, when we haven't addressed so many different issues.
Yes. And I kind of, not forced, but encouraged and prioritized that we need to address what's here first.
Yeah.
Before putting you in a deficit and just telling you to eat less.
Yeah. Because I would have just gone back to my old cycles we didn't address my mindset, my psychology around, you know, these deficits and diets and food in general and numbers. But yeah, like I was in a good maintenance. I think at the time I was like a few kilos heavier in fat and less muscle as well. And so like my maintenance was like pretty big, I reckon. I think it was like 25.
Yeah, it was about 25, yeah.
And that, I think that was my first time being in a proper intentional maintenance phase. Whereas like the intention is like eat good food, train harder. That was like it was really exciting for me, but at the same time so scary. I don't know if you remember, but I was always like so hesitant. And I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can eat all this food not because it wasn't enjoyable, but because I was scared of like this weight and like body image, and I was like, oh my god, and the weight, the number on the scale, and it's like, it really was challenging, but I was like, well, the only way to get over this is by doing it. That's the only way I can overcome it. And I'm like, and I remember at the time we were thinking, it's like, so what if I gain weight? So what if the number on the scale fluctuates? Like, what is so bad about that? What part of that scares me? And then obviously that comes to your self-worth and like me attaching who I am to a number. And it's like, I'm so much more than that.
Yes,
like,
you are.
There's like, where did this come from? And it's like, we were kind of going back and getting to the roots. And it's like, what brings this response from you? What is it? And it's like, we have to work on that. And that's how, you know, I started journaling a lot more.
Yeah. You weren't really journaling much back then?
No, I was doing like here and there, but I was like...
But what about now?
I journal like pretty much every day.
Like the way you talk about it now, it's almost like it's been a part of you forever. Yeah. It's like, I have to do this.
Yeah, and it helps because like, it's like you're speaking to someone. It's like, it's like taking... it's like getting to the root, and you just keep writing, and it's just so many things come out of that. But yeah, and then after that, like we went in a huge maintenance phase for me, and I think I'd even say it was slightly surplus here and there, obviously because I was a bit more relaxed. And yeah, I think I didn't gain weight, but I was still fluffier, and I was really okay with it. For a while I was like, yeah, you know, I was getting okay with it. I'm like, that's fine, it's just a season, and I have to embrace the season, and I have to be okay with the season. And how can I utilize the season and see it, how can I appreciate it and look at it as like a stepping stone to me in the future. And then so I think I really enjoyed it, and then, you know, I built some muscle, it was really nice, and I was training so good, and my strength was going up. And then after that, you know, once we felt like, okay, we're getting some places. And I remember like I came to you and I'm like, so what do you think we should do? And you're like, maybe we can go in deficit. And I was like, hell yeah. I think I was nervous at the start though.
You were?
I was very nervous. Not surprising, you know, knowing my history, and like I haven't been in a really sustainable and safe fat loss phase that was successful. And so I was really nervous. But then, I don't know, out of nowhere, I was like, you know what, let's do this. Like, so excited. Nervous, but I was like, well, still, we're going to do it. Like, let's get it. And then, I don't know how we decided that we were going to, like, I was going to challenge myself and go in a really, like, a harsh deficit. All for this, like, psychologically, it was like, just wanted to see what I could do. I think we started on 1800, and I was like, you know what, like, I'd rather go lower, if you remember.
Yeah, you I think you listened to one of our podcasts, and perhaps you were inspired to like, oh, if we can do this faster. 18, 14, yep.
Yeah. And then I was like, let's just shed a few hundreds off it. And we went really low, like I can't remember. 1400 maybe?
Yeah, that's what I did.
And then and it started really well. I don't know if you remember, but like I think the first few weeks it was like
started 78.6.
It was so good.
76, 75, 74, 73.
And then we went to 72. That was the best. I felt so lean, like it was so good. And I think if I didn't have that maintenance phase and that whole eating and really
beforehand,
training, yeah,
I see.
if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have felt as good and looked as good because obviously I, shaped up nicely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was by far one of the best accomplishments I've had in my life.
Really?
Yes, because it was so challenging, but I felt so proud at the end to have made it. It was 17 weeks in total.
Did you remember?
Yeah, I remember everything. I love that. I think it was such a good challenge, and mentally, the fact that I went through that and I challenged myself and I was able to overcome all these cycles that I was in before, and just was successful. I lost 6 kilos and I felt and looked good, and I still wasn't done. That's the thing.
No, you knew there was you wanted more, but
we had a diet break because at the time it was holiday period, and then I started a new role, so we just thought, I was definitely reached a diet fatigue for sure as an outcome of doing that for 17 weeks. But yeah,
deficit was going so good last week. Good. Honestly, deficit is super good. Can't believe I'm saying this, but haven't been that hungry. Still going good.
I love that. It's generally how I feel.
And then my hunger levels are increasing.
Yeah.
Right? It's starting to really challenge me. Yeah, this is what we leaned into.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Next week, we Gucci. The way I'm psychologically tackling food and hunger has been making a difference. Moving away from the idea that I'm missing out on food.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, there was so many psychological shifts there.
Can't tell you that the hunger isn't there, but what I can say is I'm tackling it a lot better. Look at that.
I think it's just changing. I remember changing my relationship with hunger. Like, I feel like in the past I was very reactive with hunger.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I felt hunger, it's like, wow, how can I fill this? Like, I need to fill it right now. It's like, I need to satisfy this need immediately.
Yeah.
And in a deficit, I was like, well, that's the whole point. Like, I have to be hungry, like, because it's serving a purpose.
Exactly.
Like, it's a process.
It's
like,
a
I
good
need
thing.
to be. Yeah. And it's like, that whole shift was so mind-blowing to me because I never felt that. And I think even, like, because it was such a harsh deficit, it's like, there's only so many nutrition strategies that you can place, in your life to, like, tackle this hunger and, like, manipulate all these different things. But it's like, sometimes you're going to have to get to the root. It's like, you're going to be hungry.
Yep.
You're going to feel it.
It's almost like trying to grow muscle in the gym without, like, really pushing yourself, or you're trying to avoid fatigue in a way.
Yeah.
Right? But you realize and have to accept that, I'm going to be hungry. It's supposed to be.
Exactly. And I think that made the biggest difference. And it was like, I just reached a peace with hunger. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You're going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
And we're okay with that. And that was magic because it took me to good places and really improved my relationship with food, with myself, and just making better decisions as well. It's like, and also like, I was able to put myself in a place where I was like, not seeking immediate satisfaction and gratification from certain things, like going out to eat and like, or like, seeing food in my environment. It's like, oh my god, I want that right now. It's
because that was another challenge. It was like eating out.
Yeah.
When you put yourself in social environments.
Yeah, that was huge. And it's like, I was, this might be too much for other people, but I challenged myself, and also it's like, I wanted to remove myself from that environment. It's like, am I willing to take it that, to that end and like really challenge myself, and like, how hard do I want this goal to be achieved? And I don't recommend it, like, completely up to you if you want to challenge yourself in that way, but I did it, and like, even that, just, I think it's just, you feel accomplished, and and you feel like, you know, you're removing some things to get your desired outcome, and I wouldn't take a thing back.
Yeah. So that was one of your biggest accomplishments, you said, of your life?
Yeah, because obviously it's so important to me, like, you know, I just, fitness still is a huge part of my life.
But it wasn't just like, I think what is hard to understand is that it wasn't just physically what you did. I just think that's like secondary.
Yes. Oh, that's just the bonus.
Yeah.
But it's just this process, like this deficit, unleashed so many different things for me, and that's what feels the most accomplishing. Is the fact that I overcame mental challenges, changed so many shifts happened.
What were some of the biggest shifts and wins that we had together connected to that and also outside of that?
I'd say just my body image, my relationship to myself, being okay with being heavier, being okay with not, you know, looking my best, but then just feeling my best, and like, because that's essentially what happened. Like, you know, you don't always have to look appealing to others to feel good in your body.
Yeah.
It matters how you feel about yourself, and I think I have never been that confident in my life.
At that stage?
Yeah. You have no idea. I think that's one of the biggest things I got as an outcome of coaching with you. I am a completely different person when it comes to my confidence.
Wow.
A year ago. You have no idea.
I don't think I do, because I'm not in your body. Can you tell me? And I didn't know you beforehand.
I was so not confident. Like, very... Well, to other people, you would never be able to tell.
Okay.
But internally, I felt it. Like, I was self-conscious, very self-critical, and like really cared deeply about what others were thinking of me or seeing, or how I appeared outwardly. And so that's why I was so, you know, afraid of gaining weight or not being skinny or not being leaner, because outwardly I wanted to appear like confident, and I wanted people to think I was confident. But really, yeah, internally I was nowhere near that. But then being okay, going through that whole process and being okay with being a bit heavier and like being in maintenance, and then challenging my relationship with myself, and like the weight and food and the scale and the numbers, and really healed my relationship with myself, I started to become really confident. I was like, I don't need to be my leanest. I don't need to appear any certain way to feel good and to be confident. And I achieved that. And even up to leading to the deficit, that confidence helped me in the deficit, because even when I wasn't seeing the scale change, or I wasn't seeing a fast progress, or, you know, just all these different things, I was like, that's fine, because it has nothing, it's not going to affect my relationship with myself, even whether I achieve this or whether I don't. Because of that, it was more impactful, because I was like, I'm okay with the process, wherever it comes out of it. It was so good. It was really good.
You sounded accepting.
Yeah, very.
And the confidence that you gained from that experience, it sounds like most of that has still stuck with you, even though your body has changed.
Absolutely. Like,
I hope.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm still confident, and if anything, I keep getting better and better at it.
Yeah.
Like, completely. Like, even now, like, you know, I'm no longer in a deficit, and I haven't even achieved more of what I wanted. Like, I still wanted to, you know, achieve my deficit number, which was like 70 kilos.
Yeah.
And I'm not there yet I'm still so confident, and I don't care.
Wow.
I'm like, if I get there, I'll get there, right? But not like for me, it was like, when I achieve that, I'll be confident. But now it's like, I'm confident regardless of whether I get there or not.
So now your confidence isn't attached to the outcome and that body image, and staying that way, it's something else.
Exactly.
It's something inside of you.
Exactly. think that's what the biggest thing with me is like, when I get there, I'll be confident.
I think that's one of the biggest tricks that we play on each other. Like, once I make $1 million, once I do this or X, Y, Z, I'm going to be happy or I'm going to be content.
Yeah.
But you have been able to find a way to be confident and content, even though you don't have that super lean body image that you used to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Your happiness and contentment and confidence isn't just based on a number.
No.
It's part of your character and identity now.
Definitely.
Whew. That's cool.
And I think that also comes as an outcome of building belief in myself. And I lacked that a lot before coming to you.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't believe in myself, and then doing coaching with you and seeing you believe in me and my potential and like, you know, so supportive and really giving a lot. I said this last week, but it literally lit like a spark in me, and then the dust started growing, and it's like a big fire now. It's like, and it's like, oh my god, but now it's like someone believed in me, and it's like grown to me now believing in myself. And yeah, I think that's just the testament to like what having a great coach can do for you.
Thanks for saying that.
It's the truth.
Because, you know, I think that means so much to me, because I think a lot of people growing up, you know, they don't believe in themselves. Mm-hmm. And I probably like, it's a used to be a version of me. Mm-hmm. And now that, you know, I have so much belief in myself now thanks to like certain people in my life, and then I see people like you, when they come to me, it's like they just lack a lot of this belief, and then I look at them and I see them and I talk to them like, oh, you got so much inside of you, you don't even know. And I see it. I see like what the tree can grow into. Yeah. And so I just like, let me give you my energy and belief in you before you even believe in you. So then you get a chance. You can just like, you get a chance to do it and to feel it and get there. And now you've, you know, it's not like you're there. It's not like you arrive, but it's like your belief in yourself has grown a lot.
It has, substantially. And that's just not, it's not just, you know, with these type of things. It's been my, like, my training wise. Like, I remember, I've always, like, I loved, you know, lifting, and I've always had this, like, idea that, like, you know, I want to lift heavy and, like, be strong, and, like, it always looked very far. Always like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever get there. Right. But then when we first started coaching, and like I would send you like form videos and stuff like that, and then you were so encouraging. You're like, oh my god, like you're made for powerlifting or something like that, or like you're so strong, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh my god, he thinks that, really? Like I was like, it made me like, I was like, oh, okay. I saw like your vision, or like the potential you were seeing in me, and I was like, can I see that as well? Like, can I go there? Yeah. And then I started to, you know, vision that for myself as well. And I was like, and then eventually I kept getting there and like achieved so many like different numbers in the gym, and like got so strong, and like, and it was all as an outcome of you being encouraging and supporting me, and like saying a few different words that you probably never realized the impact it had on me. And so, like, yeah, it was literally just even the small things.
The small little comments and feedback, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like drip feeding belief. Mm-hmm. It's like the conversation, it's the comment, it's the message, the voice message, and it's just like every week, every few days.
Yeah.
Just like shoveling more positivity.
Yeah.
And belief.
It's like a little tap when it's tipping.
Yeah.
But over time, it like grows in a big puddle.
I think that really encapsulates a lot of the stuff we've done together.
Yeah.
It's hit the tipping point.
Absolutely.
Belief, confidence, training. Yeah, because when you started, what was your... I think you said to me today, what was your RDL?
When I first started, it was like 50.
Right.
And I was struggling with that.
And now you just...
I'm ripping 100.
Yeah. So... It's just like this growth in so many areas of your tree.
Exactly.
Is there is there anything else you want to share with me? Is there any other like moments, big wins?
I think even when it comes to, coaching as well, like it's obviously something I mentioned that I've wanted to do as well, and I think you really like. It's a huge one, huh?
I'm like, your entire profession and career. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, like literally just. I think you've constantly encouraged me not to settle, because you obviously saw the struggle I was going through in terms of my career, and then also you knowing the fact that I wanted to be a coach, but I was not stepping into that. And then, you also saw the potential there, and I saw the potential there as well, but I just never had the courage when I should have to step into that.
Yeah.
And you were always serving like as a constant reminder, a bit of pressure on me obviously, but like always making me realize that there is a chance for me to go there, and like I'm more than able to, take some courage and make that move and step into it. And just that belief and that encouragement helped me saw that in myself as well. Comes down to the belief as well. It's like, this coach that I look up to, who I want to be like, is encouraging me and like encouraging me to like tap into my potential. And I was like, oh, that's such a huge thing for me. It's like, yeah, because like you're the type of coach I want to be as well. And so it was like, it was like just really nice. Like it's like when you're a little kid, like you'll look up to Superman, and it's like as if like Superman was gonna come and like talk to you and be like, yeah, you can do it too. I think that's really meaningful, and I was like, well shit, like it's about time that I start seeing my potential and tapping into it. And how can I be that for myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be your own hero.
Yeah. And so I think that has encouraged me to make all the moves I've made so far, and like, just showing up differently online as well, putting myself out there. So many different things. Countless.
Yeah, I think that one right there, because it's changing the direction of your life. Like when we started working, I don't know how soon it was before I said something like that. Do you remember? Like, I don't know, a month, 2 months, 3 months, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like maybe 3-4 months.
Yeah.
It was very early on.
Yeah, well, it wasn't long before I'm like, I could say like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this, and then you told me how you had seedlings of this thought and feeling of wanting to be a coach. And that one right there, the fruits of that decision not bearing right now because it's a long road. Mm-hmm. But you started at Cert 3-4. Do you realize that? Like you weren't even thinking, I'm going to be a coach 10 months ago.
No. Not even like 3 months ago, like full on, like making that decision. Like I think I only decided to study like a month before the whole certificate started, which was like Feb.
Yeah.
It's a huge decision.
Are you glad? No, not you glad. It's obvious, but what do you think? Because in one way, like it maybe felt like a fast decision, but like the intuition of it, I feel like we both know the intuition of it was there for years.
Absolutely. I think it's well overdue. it's so overdue, and it's like, but I think it was perfect timing. I always knew, but I think right in that moment, it felt right. It felt very right.
Do you think about, because like I see like butterfly effect, crossroads moments, like maybe you would have gotten there eventually, but like do you think about like just what happens if Mary didn't mention my name? What happens if you weren't friends with Mary? What happens if like you were too afraid to do this? What happens if you went with the other coach, for example? Like, would you have done the Cert 3-4? Would you be a coach or a coach in the making?
I don't think I would have been here. And that's why the one advice I would give is just do the thing you're scared to do.
Yeah.
Because you just never know what comes out of it. You just don't know. And if nothing comes out of it, you look back and you're like, okay, I tried it, I went there.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, that's what I always look back, and I'm like, that's why moving forward, I never look at a scary decision and think risk. I think opportunity, because I've been there so many times in the past now.
Did you have that feeling 10 months ago? Has that always been in you?
Like
The risk? When you look at a thing, you see opportunity, not as much risk.
No, I didn't have that then. It was only now that I've gone through everything and I made all these decisions that I realized I'm like, girl, just go for it.
Girl,
just go for it.
Do your thing.
Yeah, and like, look at me now. Like, if I didn't make all these quote unquote scary decisions, no, these doors wouldn't have been so open for me to come through.
I'm very glad you did.
Me too. Very glad.
Last thing, what's next? What's on the horizon? Where do you dedicate your energy, your time, now that this season has ended or ending?
Like in terms of where I am right now?
Yeah.
I think, we've spoken about this, and I think it's just time. It's winter season for me.
Yeah.
I like the way you put it.
Yeah.
It's definitely winter season. It's me conserving my energy to resting, to really recovering internally and externally, and just diverting my energy to healing, to slowing down, to processing things, really digesting things, but also really nurturing myself in knowledge. Just finishing my course, and I'm thinking of also really educating myself on women's health and
that's great.
Female
like
health.
doing little courses.
Yeah, I got this book called Taking Charge of Your Fertility.
By who?
It's a female. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
But it's like this just whole book of just understanding females and reproductive health.
That's
and all
great.
that. And I was like, great, this is for me to really step into my feminine and understand us females. That way I can show up differently for other females who have been me in the past.
That's great.
And it helps me realize I'm like, my ideal client is probably me a year ago, or what I'm going through right now as well. So I'm like,
I agree.
how can I understand my situation so that I can help other females as well?
So by understanding yourself more, you'll be able to help them more.
Exactly.
Hence the winter, hence going inwards, hence healing.
Yes.
I understand more now.
Yeah. So I'm like, really, I want to dive into it very deeply.
Yeah.
And understand all aspects. And hopefully come out of it a different person, like a rebirth.
You will.
Yeah. I have a strong feeling.
I agree. You've seen my video, my version of it on YouTube?
Yes.
Right. So you've gone through a version of it, but you're about to go through a different version of it now too.
Yeah.
And then what comes on the other end, maybe you'll be blonde, maybe you'll change something about your appearance.
Never. I went blonde once, never again.
Maybe you shave your head, I don't know. Do something crazy.
Yeah, who knows? I'll be jacked, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Slay.
Just come out of it a certified coach too.
Oh yeah, that's just time.
Yeah. Definitely.
Do you have any feedback for me? Positive, constructive? If you're honest, ways I can turn up better for you, future you, or other versions of you.
Honestly, there's not much. I don't know. I think you've done all the right things that at the time really fully helped me transform, change my life. Obviously, right now I'm at a different phase. And if I were to give you feedback, it would be based on me right now. So not really to what we've done in the past.
I see what you mean.
Know?
So what we did in the past may not be what you need right now.
Exactly.
But
So I can't really give you feedback.
That's actually a very good perspective. Yeah. Okay.
You did. I think what was right and good for me when I came to you.
For the Merean back then.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see.
Exactly.
That's great. I showed up in the way I needed to for you.
You
at the time.
Really did. And I think I've been thinking a lot about it. I don't think I'll change a thing. I think they all really served me the way they needed to.
Any last thoughts?
Any last thoughts? I'll go back to what I said is do the things that scare you.
I think that's great advice. One of my favorites is like, the treasure you seek is found in the cave you fear entering.
How do you memorize things like that?
I've got a few.
They're good.
They just impact me, and then I say them once, and then I say them again, and
that's good.
the treasure you seek is found in the cave you fear entering. Yeah. And you went into your own cave.
Exactly.
Found some treasure, coming out, going into hibernation.
Yeah.
Then you will enter again.
Exactly.
Cycle.
That's a good conclusion.
Merean, I have so much love for you, as I've said, but it's different when I say it eye to eye.
Yeah.
I said it over a video.
I do too, for sure. It's been a great journey.
Yeah, and I just think like you've just like opened the lid on what's possible now. Like what we've done is like this is our coaching over the 10 months. To me, it's like, I know it's more than that, but like to me, it's like, all right, now you know what's possible. Flourish.
Exactly.
Like just go to the moon. Like
go nuts.
Yeah. Well, before we hibernate, we go winter.
I'm entering it. Don't worry, I'm already there.
Yeah. But I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And I think your story, your experience, you will be able to take to your clients, your future clients, to inspire so many people, to show that through overcoming fear and being courageous, that they can find and transform themselves in really meaningful ways. And you've done that. And you've pushed through a lot of discomfort. You've been courageous.
Mm-hmm.
You've really been open-minded to feedback, to conversations. You've honoured your commitment to yourself, and you've always showed up in a very respectful, punctual, like authentic, just beautiful soul that you are.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Really appreciate it, really. You've been great. And by the way, I've got to say one last thing. I don't think I've missed one check-in. I'm tired tonight. That's a really good thing.
Shit.
I really haven't. Not even one. There's one time that I was like,
you were like,
I forgot.
Oh, yeah, but you were like, oh.
I was having breakfast.
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot.
Yeah.
It was recent as well. It was literally this year.
Yeah, I know that one.
Never.
You never missed check-in?
No.
I should have said that. Absolutely. That's rare.